At the end of every unit, your teacher has a chance to teach a lesson about other lessons in their context or hand. But what do you suppose our teacher has to do? He skips the lesson and makes his present additional elocution needs to store whole evidence, reasoning that can corroborate answers. A complex thesis that Dr. John P. Irish would invite. Then he dropped his screencast like a single inspired student created screencast for you to like, subscribe, and share. We know you had all this John Wayne and Steve Heinrich and more. If we have the most views by 10 p.m. Eastern, with that, we are 500 bonus points virtually guaranteed. Without much more, fanfare or ado, we present our digital LEQ. At the end of every journey, 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 at the end of every your teacher has a chance to teach a lesson about other lessons in their context or hand. But what do you suppose our teacher has to do? He skips the lesson and makes his present additional elocution needs to store whole evidence, reasoning that can corroborate answers. A complex thesis that Dr. John P. Irish would invite. Then we dropped his screencast like a single. This presentation is on the continuity and change from 1450 to 1750 of the social hierarchies of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire served as the largest and longest reigning empire in world history. It spanned the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and Northern Africa at its height. It was ruled by a sultan with absolute power over its subjects and kingdoms, whom also acted as a political and religious authority. The Ottoman Empire was created from the ashes of the fall of the Byzantine Empire, when Constantinople was seized by the Ottoman Turks. The big ideas, or the questions that you should have answered at the end of this presentation, are: in what ways did the social classes contribute to the success of the Ottoman Empire? How did religion shape the way of everyday life in the empire? What role did women play in the success of the Ottoman Empire? Thesis. The Ottoman Empire served as one of the largest and expansive empires in world history. From 1450 to 1750, the empire was relatively stagnant with its classist social structure. This means a social organization was present in every part of their society, but none more so than their political organization, social classes, religious hierarchy, and gender roles. However, changes can be found in the treatment of certain demographics of people, as well as the titles and political roles of their political organization. The political organization, which will be examining the political organization of the Ottoman Empire and its ties to social structure. In the Ottoman Empire, the Sultan was the king and served at the top of the political and social hierarchy. Next in line were the Grand Vizier, or the Prime Minister, and the other visors, or ministers. The head of the ulama acted as a religious authority and was responsible for enforcing Islamic law. The aga/agas were military officers. Beys operated as governors of districts or provinces. Caliph were spiritual leaders of the Islamic world. Examining the classist divide of the Ottoman Empire and its ties to social structure. The Ottoman Empire consisted of 5 main social classes. At the top were the men of the pen, who were the wealthiest and most educated of the social classes in the Ottoman Empire. They were also the most prestigious class, as they included scientists, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, and civilians of other professions. Next were men of the sword. These can be described as their title, as they consisted of warriors, generals, and weapon makers. Their primary task was the protection and defense of the empire. Next were men of negotiation. These were respected men who worked in fields of negotiating, such as merchants and artisans. They were highly respected, but didn't make a lot of money due to their lack of major skills. After them were men of husbandry. These were farmers and herders who lacked skills or had very little experience in working. They were responsible for providing the entire empire with a food source. At the very bottom were eunuchs, as they were captured to work for the Ottoman Empire from other parts of the continent and were trained to be in their military or army or to work as house slaves. Religious hierarchy, in which we will examine the religious divide of the Ottoman Empire and its ties to social structure. The Ottoman Empire's state religion was Islam, specifically Sunni, and this was prevalent in all of their cultural and political institutions. It's because of this that Muslims enjoy greater freedom and treatment than their monotheistic peers, also known as al-Kitab, or people of the book. Christians and Jews were required to pay a poll tax, subjected to personal and systematic discrimination and prejudice, and were relegated to subservient positions.
Women in the Ottoman Empire, examining the gender roles of the Ottoman Empire and its ties to social structure. The Ottoman imperial family and members of the empire's elite were notorious for keeping harems. It consisted of the queen mother, the sultan's favorites, other concubines, and the daughters of the sultan. The most important women in the harem had social standing equivalent to that of the sultan's legal wives. Generally, Ottoman women were permitted to own land, participate in the legal system, sell and buy property, and etc. In many cases, they had legal and civil rights equivalent to that of the men in their society.
The continuities and changes throughout these four main themes. The political organization changes included the titles of the people in power, as both genders of the imperial family used the title Sultan. A continuity was the Sultan was the person in charge of the government throughout its years of reigning. The religious continuities and changes included the change of the treatment in different religions to the millet system, which allowed for other religious groups to rule themselves and protected religious minorities. The continuity was that religious groups other than Muslims were still considered lower class. The social classes include the change that gunpowder trading became more popular due to maritime empires, and so men of the negotiation became richer and more respected. The continuity was that the position of each social class remained the same, with the men of pen being at the top and men of husbandry and slaves at the bottom. The continuity and change of women in the Ottoman Empire included the change of the role of harems within the royal harems evolved over time. The continuity was that harems were still an important role of politics and religion in the empire.
In our project, we discovered two main themes. Theme 2, Cultural Developments and Interactions. Many of the ideas and beliefs of the Ottoman Empire were motivated by the Islamic faith, including how the empire operated as a government institution, a religious institution, and how the members of the empire society viewed themselves, and how they interacted with other members of their society. The other theme detected was Theme 5, Social Interactions and Organization. The Ottoman Empire divided its citizens into social classes and participated in different gender roles and practices which influenced their political, economic, and cultural institutions and organization.
Thanks to the success of the Ottoman Empire. Each social class played a vital role in the empire, from national defense to agriculture and farming. If one of these social classes were to stop performing their duties, it would have dire consequences on the empire as a whole. How did religion shape the way of everyday life in the empire? Religion had an important place in the Ottomans, with Islam being the official religion. Christianity and Judaism were also allowed as minority religions. However, those who observed these religions faced heavy social persecution and oppression. What role did women play in the success of the Ottoman Empire? Women were allowed to participate in politics and played a large role in the Sultan's success and planning of the empire. They were also allowed to own and manage land, which allowed them to make money and play a role in the economy of the empire. These are the sources we used to make this presentation happen.